Can you explain a bit more about thinking in first principles? It makes a lot of sense to me, but I really don't know how to go about applying it when analyzing judgments and opinions. Sure. So, I mean, I explain it in week 6, and it's in week 6, one of the modules, I talk about first principles and all of this. And what it really is it's just, this is how most people make decisions. They look at what everybody else is doing. So if they're trying to decide, should I do this thing? Well, first of all, they'll look at what everybody else is doing, and they'll think, if a lot of people are doing it, then it must be right. That's a weird delusional thought process, right? But that's one thing they do. Or they might go, well, this is like, they might think, well, if everybody thinks this is what I should do, this is what I should do, right? And they might also then reason by analogy or like a saying or a phrase. A classic example is, like people say, those that can't do teach, right? And there's actually a lot of truth in that. Like, there's a reason why that's a saying, because there's a lot of, I'd say the vast majority of teachers haven't done what they're teaching, and they're trying to teach people how to do it, but they've never done it, which is very messed up. So there's a lot of truth in that saying. But what they will do then is they might look at someone like me and be like, instead of really looking into it, they would just see that I'm teaching people how to do stuff. So they would just be like, oh, he's teaching people how to do stuff, and those that can't do teach, so he mustn't be able to do. Haha, he can't do, those that can't do teach. That's literally this person's delusional thought process, right? That's how normal people think. They reason by analogy, sayings, catchphrases, memes, what's popular and what's unpopular, and public opinion, perception, like all, and what everyone's doing and what's been done traditionally. This is normal people's thinking. And it's just a recipe for mediocrity. It'll certainly get you to fit in with people and be average, if that's what you want to do. But other than that, it's useless. And so to really do something good, you have to think differently. And because you can't, if everybody in a particular scenario has a problem using the way they think, and they can't find the solution using the way they think, then it is almost impossible to find the solution using the same thinking, right? So that's where first principles can be very useful, because you don't use the tracks that everybody else is using. You instead come into the situation and you boil it down to its basic components or fundamentals. So, like, let's say those that can't do teach, you're looking at somebody. Let's say you're looking at me on the internet and you're like, okay, this guy Sam's teaching people how to do this making money on the internet thing, or how to run some ads or do some sales calls or whatever, right? Now, the weird way to do it, the normal person way would be like, Sam's teaching and he's telling me he knows that he can help me make money. Sounds too good to be true. Oh, that's right. Things that are too good to be true aren't true. That's their first little logic reason. They're like, oh, yeah, okay. Then the second one comes along. It's like, also, those that can't do teach. Sam's teaching. Okay, so those that can't do teach, he's teaching, so he can't do. All right, so this guy can't do, and also he, it's too good to be true. And also, like, this looks like a scam. Why? I don't know, because it's too good to be true. And he doesn't know how to do it, and he's telling people he can teach them how to do it, and that he's doing it, but I know he can't do it because those that can't do teach, and he's teaching, therefore he mustn't be able to do. So he's a scam. And then they're like, what? I'm smart, and I'm going to tell everybody about this because this guy doesn't know how to do. He's also like a scammer, and he is also this is too good to be true, right? So they're like, oh, I'm not going to do this thing, I'm not going to. That's how like crazy thinking happens. Well, normal person's thinking, but kind of crazy. Instead, what first principles would do is it would just forget about all that crap, and it just does a brutal assessment. Just looks. And very few people look. Nobody looks. People hear something on the news, they think, oh, that's the way it is, and then they just go out there and start just repeating what they heard on the news and never checked. That's what most people do. Very few people will take the time and energy to look. And instead, if you were analyzing me on the internet, what you'd do is be like, all right, well, what's he promising that he's able to do, and what is he saying that he's done? Now let's fact check these things. Does he know how to do Facebook ads? Well, you could start looking. Does he do Facebook ads? A good way to test something is, if someone says that it works, and if someone says they think it's a good idea, then look to see if that person is doing it. Because if a person says you should do something because it's a good idea and they're not doing it, they're lying. So that's a first check. Okay, that's congruent. He is running Facebook ads, and he must be doing well at them because there's a lot of them and they cost money, and he would be broke if he's just spent a lot of money on ads and never made any money. So like, all right, he must know something about ads, and he's using them, so that adds up. If he's using them and he's successful by using ads, then there's a high probability that he's going to be able to teach me how to do ads and be successful, because he is. All right, first thing, what about sales calls? You could learn about that and assess that. And then also, it's going to teach me how to get clients. Does he have any clients? Well, to pay for those ads, he'd need clients. He's paying for those ads, therefore he must have clients. And then also there's a lot of testimonials. Those also must be clients. They've got results. He's telling me he's going to be able to get me results. And then time frame, like when did he start? Like find out that. Then what was the trajectory over that timeline, and then how does that timeline compare to the average person? And then is it an anomaly or is it a norm? And then, all right, so this is actually quite rapid timeline acceleration, quite good results in quite a short amount of time, quite good student results compared to the baseline average of the rest of the market. There's probably something to learn here, right? I don't know if I'm actually going to be successful or not from this. That I can't know without doing. But this looks like there'll be something that I'll learn in here. That would be first principles thinking. That whole process I just ran you through, the delusional person and the scientist, that's the difference. And you want to be more like the scientist. That's how you do everything. You put everything under the microscope. You assess everything. And it doesn't matter if someone has authority, doesn't matter if someone has a title, a label, a uniform. Those, to me, I am skeptical of authority, labels, certificates, degrees, experts, certified experts. A certified expert with a uniform, I'm especially skeptical, because those things don't mean that they're an expert. They are efforts to look and be perceived as one, but doesn't mean that they are one. So it's just a different way of looking at everything. And that's what it is. If I know the most successful people in the world use it because it's just a way of thinking differently and being more realistic than not using it. And I teach you how to use it in week 6 of the program, and it just takes practice too. And it takes courage, because often you're going to go against everybody. And, if you've never stood up against everybody before, then it's going to be terrifying. So just start using it on your friends first. When someone says something, just be like, wait a minute, whoa, what did you just say? This. How do you know that's true? And then just pull, just chipping at it. And then see how I like doing this with people, is they'll say something and people are just like, oh yeah, they just accept it. It's never assessed because that's not polite. But I I'm not very polite because I think it's actually impolite to lie to people. So I think I'm actually being polite by saving people from believing a lie. And so I even have a different version of polite. So I will instead drill into that and find out whether it's true or not. And if it's true, I'll be like, well, that's really good. Thanks for that. Like that's all, I really learned something there. Or if it's not, I'll be like, dude, that's not true. And that's what you should do. Just start doing it with your friends and family and your wife or your girlfriend. But you'll probably get told off for that. I get told off for that. I get told that I'm like speaking to a computer. And also I get told that I'm a robot. But it's just the way of thinking, because most people never dig beneath the surface. They're just, oh, how's the weather? Oh, it's good. How's things at the job? Yeah, good. How are the kids? Yep, good. Yep. Then the other person's like, yep. You want a beer? Yep. That's most people. And I can't stand that.